In photography, as with everything, I like to get really close. The intimacy trap. Don't get me wrong, intimacy is one of the nicest things in the world. Whether it's the intimacy that comes from connecting with a friend, the intimacy that comes from studying something deeply with a teacher, or the intimacy of a partner relationship, sharing is a beautiful thing. But all war starts over the desire for nice things. It's not intimacy per se, but the attachment to it that makes us suffer. This came up in Inquiry Circle recently. For whatever reason, there have been fewer people active in Inquiry Circle for the past few months, and it started to feel a little empty. I watched my own thoughts about this and then heard more from others. One of the thoughts that came up was a desire for an intimate group, a group of people doing the work together, a desire for people who show up regularly to share vulnerably together. In fact, that is what actually happens in Inquiry Circle, but it's just been a little less full recently. When fewer people were participating, it gave the feeling that others don't care, thus interrupting the feeling of connection and intimacy. But why are we actually here? When I look at my years of doing the work, I can see that I used to have a strong desire for intimacy in doing the work with others. It was actually a reason for doing the work for me. After all, what of a perfect setup for it? Sharing my stressful thoughts with another person who listens and shares is a formula for closeness. I think some of my early motivation in doing the work was to connect with people in that way. I was attracted to the intimacy. But over time, that has changed. Though I enjoy connecting with others, I don't crave it anymore, and I don't hold it as a kind of highest good. Instead, the real reason I do the work is to become more intimate with myself. I don't care that much if someone else witnesses my work and connects with me when I go inward. And I don't care so much about being close to another person as they do their work. I actually do find myself close when I join with them, when I listen, when I facilitate, but I don't care so much. This is really freeing. Inquiry Circle is a meditation hall. Inquiry Circle is primarily a place for each of us to dive inwardly to find greater closeness within ourselves. It is simply a place for us to do the work online together. In that way, it doesn't matter if someone doesn't join me. But if intimacy is the primary purpose of the group, then my happiness depends on others being present and attentive. The question is, why am I showing up? To connect with others or to connect with myself? This makes all the difference. When my only purpose is to connect with myself, I am happy to be the only person in Inquiry Circle. And ironically, when I do connect with myself, I automatically feel more connected with everyone else, regardless of how they show up. How about you? Why do you do the work? Is it for intimacy or for self-awareness? Maybe it's both. Both are good. I'm curious to see how your experience changes over time. And who would you be if you didn't crave intimacy in friendships, relationships, and groups of all kinds? Does the desire for intimacy bring you peace or stress? Each situation is different. Take a look. Want to join Inquiry Circle? If your heart is into simply doing the work on an ongoing basis, Inquiry Circle could be a match for you. The prerequisite for joining Inquiry Circle is to take the Work 101. I'd love to meet you there, and I won't mind if you don't. Learn more about the Work 101, my in-depth online training in the Work of Byron Katie, at theworkasmeditation.com, and there's a page for it called The Work 101. So I'll end with a quote from Byron Katie, and this is from her book, I Need Your Love, Is That True? Eventually, every band-aid stops working, and our painful thoughts ooze out. Only the truth can set us free. Only the truth can stop the pain. And only with the truth can we be truly intimate?